Joining us now is Nancy Sovran. She is the executive director of Wish Upon a Teen, a 501c3 organization. Joining us now on the MegaCast. Nancy, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. Tell us a little bit, for those unaware, about what Wish Upon a Teen does to help people in our local area.
Well, we have been around for 10 years. We help and support teenagers that are going through and battling a serious medical illness. Our number one program is our Design My Room program, and we design hospital rooms for teenagers who are going to be in the hospital long term. I started with Wish Upon a Teen in 2012. As a parent, my daughter was having a bone marrow transplant at CS Mott Children's Hospital, and Wish Upon a Teen came in and designed her room. And it made the most impact of anything that she was going through. It helped her in her recovery. So I became a volunteer, and then they hired me to be the community development specialist. And then from 2014, I've been the executive director, working and making a difference for teens that are struggling with a serious medical illness.
So how do families get involved with this organization, either to provide your services for their child or get their child that may have an illness involved with Wish Upon a Teen?
Well, it can be the family that reaches out to us and says, my child's in the hospital, how can we submit a referral? And so I always reach out to the hospital, but also we get referrals from the social workers at the hospital, the child life specialists, the nurses, the doctors, anybody who's involved with that child, whatever hospital. We're in all the children's hospitals in Michigan.
We're joined by Nancy Sovran. She is the executive director of Wish Upon a Teen, a charity that is supported, of course, by Share Detroit. We'll be joined by one of those charities and nonprofits every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, now through November 30th at 10:20 a.m. You can learn more about Nancy's organization by visiting their website at wishuponateen.org. That is wishuponateen.org. And so you have an annual event that's coming up called the Evening of Dreams Prom for teens with medical conditions. When is that event, and what is that event, and how does it help to impact the children?
It will be in the spring. Okay. We had a small one this summer, trying to get back, into doing events for the kids post-COVID. Our teens have been isolated. They have serious medical illnesses. So, COVID has really, posed a big problem. So, with their isolation. So we're going to be having our Dreams Prom, our Evening of Dreams Prom this spring. And it's just a wonderful evening. Most of our kids have missed their prom because they have been, sick and in the hospital. And so we want to give them something that we all get to, have is our prom. And so, usually we have about 150 teens come from all over the state of Michigan, and it's at the Imagine Theater in Royal Oak. They're one of our big supporters, as well as Share Detroit. And so it's a normal prom. If you looked in the the window or peeked in, you'd think, oh yeah, there's some kids in wheelchairs. There's kids, that don't have hair. But we make this a normal prom because everybody deserves to have one of those rite of passages and not miss it because of their illness. And we, send Ubers to the hospital for the teens to come to the to the prom if they're in the hospital.
We're joined by Nancy Sovran. She is the executive director of Wish Upon a Teen, joining us on the MegaCast. You can learn more information about her nonprofit by visiting their website at wishuponateen.org. And so you mentioned that sometimes the kids that are referred to your organization, it may be through their families, but other times it may be through the hospital. Do you have specific partners in some of these hospital systems, or is it more just communication with them over time that brings you to these kids that are dealing with an illness?
We deal with the child life department in all the hospitals and the social workers. It just depends on who comes in contact with that family, and they decide that this teen is really having a hard time and having their room designed. Will make a difference. Like we come in and, we drop everything off at the hospital right now because of COVID. And so then the staff takes it up to decorate, but we do the comforter, we do the sheets, we do a blanket, we do everything, that comes within a theme for that room. And then they get to take it all home when they're done. So, some of our kids are in and out of the hospital for treatment. So they may pack it up and, bring it back and forth. But otherwise, we're very busy with Children's Hospital of Michigan. We're very busy with CS Mott Children's Hospital and Beaumont. So we're in Ascension in Detroit, St. John's Hospital. They keep us, busy. They have a lot of kids that are in the hospital and that need our help and need our support.
We're joined by Nancy Sovran. She is the executive director of Wish Upon a Teen, a nonprofit organization supported by Share Detroit, and we'll be joined by organizations like hers and many others supported by Share Detroit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from now until November 30th at 10:20 during our regular live shows, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You can learn more about Wish Upon a Teen at their website, wishuponateen.org. And so, Nancy, during the pandemic, it had to have been a lot tougher, like it was for so many organizations, for you to do the regular work that your organization does. How did your operations have to change during the pandemic to continue to provide these services to sick children and teens, albeit in a different way and in a safe way because of the conditions we were under?
Well, it was difficult to begin with because, everything was put on hold because, COVID was new. Everybody didn't know about, trying to understand and in utmost, keep everybody busy. The kids that were in the hospital, they could not see their families. I mean, they had that one parent or that one guardian who was with them, and they couldn't switch out with anybody else. So they were even in an isolated time, they were even more isolated. And so once, COVID, I think back in, May of 2020, we started, shipping things to the hospital. Well, we've always shipped things to the hospital if we can't go, because we're in hospitals out of the state of Michigan. But I've been, delivering it to the front door of the hospital or shipping to the hospitals in Michigan. And it started to take off because they realize these kids are, in a really tough space. They don't have their family. They don't have their friends. And so we've been doing more rooms now more than ever.
We're joined by Nancy Sovran. She is the executive director of Wish Upon a Teen. Learn more information about the nonprofit by visiting their website at wishuponateen.org. And so at this time, being that we're not entirely through the pandemic, but we're definitely in a much different and much sunnier spot than we were in comparison to a year ago. The needs may be different now than they were a year ago, and may in many ways they may be similar to that, but it's going to be different for each organization that we interview. At this moment in time, what are some of the critical needs that Wish Upon a Teen has that the community could help them out with as we're approaching Giving Tuesday?
Well, I'm telling you, number one, we can't thank Share Detroit enough for their platform for all the nonprofits in the state of Michigan. I mean, they are doing work that, I'm the only employee at Wish Upon a Teen, so, I'm going in 12 different directions. So the things that Share Detroit does on their platform helps us in so many ways, getting volunteers, getting donations. But many of the nonprofits weren't able to have their traditional fundraisers because of, COVID. So, we're getting more referrals for Design My Rooms, but we had to halt a lot of our fundraising. We've been getting a lot of donations, from the community, people who have, had family members that have had their room designed or knew of someone that had the room design and it made such a difference. But, we have critical funding that we need to keep doing our Design My Room because it's such an important program. So, people donating to our Design My Room program, sponsoring a Design My Room program. If you want to design, sponsor a hospital room for a teenager, it's $250, which is, you can get with a group of people, to do that. Businesses can do it. It's very affordable and it makes such an impact.
And then are there volunteer opportunities as well with your organization? You mentioned that you're the only employee of Wish Upon a Teen, but if people want to volunteer to help the organization, are there ways that they can do that? And if so, what are those ways?
Well, on Share Detroit, there's a area where they can sign up to volunteer, and then Share Detroit sends me all that information, or they can reach right out to me at nancy@wishuponateen.org. But Share Detroit is just an awesome platform because it'll tell people exactly what we need, at the time.
We're joined by Nancy Sovran. She is the executive director of Wish Upon a Teen, joining us on the MegaCast. One of the many charities and nonprofits supported by Share Detroit, who will be joined by every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 a.m. From 10:20 a.m. to 10:40 on our live shows, which are 10 a.m. until 12 noon. You can learn more about Wish Upon a Teen by visiting their website at wishuponateen.org. And so, Nancy, just a few more minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. At this time, anything else that would be important for our audience to know about your nonprofit, or anything else that we haven't spoken about today?
No, I just, if anybody wants to reach out, it is Giving Tuesday time, but, just Giving Tuesday is just one part of the year. Our teens, need help. Our program needs help. There's just a lot of important things that we do. I was a parent whose child was a beneficiary of what Wish Upon a Teen does, and I can tell you firsthand that it makes a huge difference. So, we were all teenagers once, sometimes longer than others, but, it's trying to get these teens through a really difficult journey when they have a serious medical illness is so important.
Well, Nancy, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us and telling us more about your nonprofit, Wish Upon a Teen.
Thank you for having me.